Hey everyone, it's Neil. Today I'm going to show you how to do bullet graphs in Spotfire. So in this example, I have some information on a race car going around a track. Now, this is streaming data, but you can do the same configuration with at-rest data. It doesn't matter if it's streaming or at rest. Today's example just shows streaming data. So over here in the top right, I see these temperatures for this car. I have the tire temperatures and the brake temperatures. There's an optimal temperature for each of these. There's a cold value, there's an optimal in yellow, there's where it gets hot and when it gets really hot. Those are shown in red. And I can hover over this and I can see the color range of the value and the current value itself. So the color, the yellow that's back there is actually being shown in the tooltip right now. Okay, so how did I add these in? So I'm going to show you this right here with a text area. Now you can add this into graphical tables as well if you have a bunch of values and different rows on a table you want to show. The bullet graph is possible there. It's the same configuration as I'm going to show you here. The way you add it is through a dynamic item, which is this kind of up-down arrow, and you go to bullet graph. And when you add that, it'll create this little area which you can resize if you want. You can kind of change that around. Move it back there, and this value is shown. So here's the configurations for the bullet graph. You first need to select your data. So this car data is my streaming data. I can limit this by markings if I'm selecting different data on my charts. I'm not going to do that here. I have all the other options for filtering it by an expression, for doing column matches, things like that. So in formatting, you can change the style of the numbers and the values that are shown. And then here in bullet graphs, you select your values. So to calculate values, this is going to be the horizontal line. It's shown in white here. And you select just the column you want, and you can select whatever aggregation you want. If you want a sum or an average. I'm using in streaming data last non-null value, which is just the most current value. Now you have also the option to do a comparative value. So this is the vertical line that's shown in the bullet graph right here. So I made these the same, so it kind of just looks like one big meter moving back and forth. But you could, for instance, do an average here, and this is going to show me the average. This is going to show me now the average that's on this chart. So you'll see these actually not lining up because the horizontal bar is showing the latest value and the vertical bar is showing the average of all the temperature values. So it's a really nice comparison right there. You can change the color here. So, you know, if I want to change this to, I don't know, purple or something, you can have that there if you want to change that. I'm going to leave it as white for now. And you can change, of course, like the maximum range that you want this to go. So if it goes like past, you know, in streaming, I want my axes to kind of be the same. I don't want it to go like past a certain value. So I try to fix my range right there. So if I have my rear tire, left tire, my left and right tire, whatever, it's all kind of shown comparison. It's not going to dynamically adjust that bullet graph axes. So next thing's a color range, and this is where people tend to get a little confused. So for color range, you know, you can add a value here. So right here, the whole thing will be shown one color if you want as one color. And this I've named cold so that when I hover over this, the tooltip will say cold. But I can add another range as well. And this one, I want to start at 85. And so I'll just hit 85 as the expression. If you don't see this expression popping up, you might have it like this. You just need to open up the flyout and you can hit expression, add 85. I don't want to discard it, I want to keep that. And then I want to call this one optimal. And I want to make this yellow. And let's add another one here, and let's start this one at 115. Now, you don't have to have this a fixed value. You can base this on another column as well. So if you want to, if you have another column in your table that you want your colors to adjust based off of, you can use that as well. But I'm just going to use a fixed value for 115 here. And here I'm just going to make this red. And there you go. So it's showing it right there. So hit OK. I'm not going to do the very hot value. I'm just going to show just these 3 colors right there. I'll hit save, and that's it. Right? Really, like that's your bullet graph. So remember, you can do this in graphical tables too. That's a graphical table option where you can put icons and other dynamic spark lines, all kinds of dynamic items in there. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Join us next time. Thanks.